Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is a live recording of a 15-minute full body flexibility practice. I just used my bolster today. A little bit of space to move would be great. And let's get started. Hopefully Bowie will sit down here, but we're going to begin laying down. Another fast week has come and gone. So let's get a little bit comfy. Let's slow down a touch. You're going to be laying on top of a pillow of some kind. Let's make sure you feel supported by it. You can decide what you want to do with your legs. Maybe a diamond. Maybe bent knees and scooching the feet a little bit closer towards the heels, the hips, and your arms. Maybe you can rest them out a little wider, turning your palms to face up. Let's take a slow, deep breath in and out. Starting to let go of the day and what we've got to do later. Scan your body all the way from your toes, your fingertips to the crown of your head. Maybe softening throughout the forehead, the cheeks. Just feeling the air flowing through you. Stay here for just a couple more moments. Maybe you'll stay exactly as you are. Maybe you'll move slightly. But if you feel like taking another deep breath in and let it go. Maybe finding some stillness throughout the body for these last few moments here. And as we begin to move, Might start with the fingers and the toes. Making a diamond shape with your legs, you might bring your knees together. Eventually planting your feet on the ground. If you're laying on top of something, you can slide it out. Come back down though so that you're laying flat on your back. You might hug your knees to your chest or keep your feet on the ground. Maybe swaying a little bit or just be still. Then we are going to be finding figure 4 from here. So your left foot could come to the ground if it's lifted. Rest your right foot on top of your quads. You can keep your left foot on the ground or you could lift that foot up into the air. You might hold on to the back of the left leg just to hug the legs a little closer to the chest. And if you've got your left foot lifted, you might kind of flex and point the toe. Just a little movement through the ankle if you'd like. You could try to do the same thing with your right foot too, if it feels okay to do so. Or maybe you'll leave that foot in a flex position. And if you are doing that movement with your ankles, you can stop or continue. Place them in a way that's comfortable or relax completely. I do like to keep my right foot, the one resting on top of the quad, flexed. And if you do have your left foot in the air, take just one more inhale with it lifted. And then as you exhale, you can bring it to the ground again. We're going to take our right foot off of our leg and just hug the knee in towards the chest. So you can keep your left leg bent or you could straighten it out long. But hugging the right knee in towards the chest, as close as it'll go. Now you can keep your right knee kind of centered. You can let it tip out to the right side a little. You can continue to hold your knee or you could lift your foot, shine the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling or the sky above you, and maybe hold your foot for half a happy baby, just gently encouraging your knee towards the ground beside you. Or maybe you're still hugging your knee towards your chest. If you did go all the way for the half happy baby, you can start to come back to where we started, holding onto the knee and bringing it back to center towards the chest. Give that knee a nice big hug. And then slowly starting to let go. And we can bend our knees, both of them, plant both of our feet as well. Maybe adding a gentle sway side to side. I guess you could hug both of your knees in towards your chest if you'd rather. Just a moment before switching sides, moving into our figure 4. Right leg will be on the bottom. Left foot is going to rest on top of the quad. Maybe you'll be lifting your right foot up into the air. Maybe you're holding on to the back of the right leg too. And then if you did want to do a little point and flex, maybe with just the right foot, or maybe both, just gently encourage your low back to the ground. Feel that nice stretch through your left leg. And then maybe just relaxing through the ankles or keeping the left one flexed. And take just another inhale. If you have your right foot lifted up into the air, and you can let the exhale bring it back down to the ground. And uncross your legs or start to hug your left knee to your chest. Maybe the right leg's going long. Maybe it's going to stay bent. Staying here or letting the knee tip out to the side, to the left side. You can continue to hold on to your knee, or you could lift the foot, try to hold the foot, try to send the sole of that foot up above you. Gently guiding the knee just towards the ground, either towards your chest or half happy baby out to the side. You went all the way for the half happy baby. Start to come back the way you came. Letting go of your foot and finding your knee. Bringing the knee back in towards the chest, giving it a nice big hug. And then slowly letting go. Maybe you'll hug both of your knees to the chest. Maybe you'll plant both of your feet. You want to add a little bit of a sway. Give your low back a gentle massage. We are going to be finding our way up to seated. And maybe you'll want your pillow close by. So we're going to find a wide straddle. If you want to do one leg at a time, you can do half a straddle. I'll let you know when to switch sides. If you're feeling good to do both legs, you can do both legs. But whatever leg, or if both of them are out wide, you might just try to do a little point of the toes, a little flex of the foot. See how that feels. Squeeze the legs a little, maybe even bend the knees a little. And then you can start to relax. You can decide where you want your feet to be. Maybe you're continuing to flex the feet, the foot. Maybe you're relaxing your ankles. Maybe you're even pointing your toes. You can lengthen through your spine a little bit more if you forgot to do that. Stay sitting tall or taking a tip forwards. Maybe resting on something or just using your hands on the ground around you. Feeling that nice inner leg stretch. If you happen to be in a half straddle, you can switch to the other side. If you're in a full straddle and you want to reset, re-lengthen through your spine, adjust it all, go for it. Find a place where you get a nice stretch, but you can continue to let your shoulders fall from your ears and breathe softly without any effort. Stay for another breath or two. If you're folding forwards, you can use an inhale to rise again. Use your hands to help bring your legs in. Give them a hug or a squeeze. Maybe a rock side to side. We're going to come into tabletop next. You've got a pillow to use today. Have it at the top of your mat, just in case. And from tabletop, we're going to be going into that half child's pose, which we've seen a few times now. So we're going to start with the left leg. We can slide that leg forwards. We can bring the knee out to the side a little, and then we can try to sit back on the heel. So the knee's out to the side a little bit. If you'd rather the knee be pointing forwards, you can do that too. We're just trying to sit back on the heel, half child's pose. Bringing that right leg back kind of straight behind us as best we can have it. Pillows can be here just in case. You might lift the chest and keep the chest lifted. You might come down onto your forearms or onto your pillow to kind of level things out a little bit. And then just an option. If you're feeling kind of comfortable here, we could move our arms a little bit. So we could take the left arm and slide it underneath the chest. It could be resting on the pillow or the ground. You can skip this part. So just tuck your arm under your chest. Start if you want to see how that feels. Try to level your shoulders out. Try to let your chest get heavy. You're feeling like the half child's pose isn't really where you want your legs to be. You could adjust that. You could be in tabletop. You could be in full child's pose. Now, just an option. If you are feeling good here, stay. We've just got a few more moments. If you did want to go further into the left hip, you could change into pigeon. Bring the foot out from under the glute in front of the right hip. Reset. If you want to add your shoulder back in, you can do that too. You might be resting on the pillow. You might be using the ground, but same thing, just more for that left leg and hip. Let's take just another breath or two on this side. You did tuck your arm under your chest. You can slowly lift to free to push into the hands again. We'll be meeting in tabletop. You can find your way there. On both of the knees and taking a little bit of a sway through the hips. Maybe even a shoulder roll. Just notice the sensations flowing throughout your body. A lot through the left side, maybe more than the right side. The leg, the arm. And then as we begin to switch sides, your right knee can slide forwards. Your knee can go out to the side a little if you wanted to. And try to sit back on your heel, your half child's pose. Maybe scooch the left leg around a little bit too. Lift the chest. You can stay here. You could start to fold forwards a little, maybe halfway onto something. It's kind of deciding where you want your legs to be for the first few moments at least. And then if you did want to add your right arm under your chest, sometimes it's a little nicer to bring the pillow underneath, bring the ground a little higher. And trying to level those shoulders as best you can. Let your chest get heavy. Let your left arm be wherever it needs to be. Enjoy a few breaths here. And then maybe, if you wanted to go a little bit further and you wanted to switch your leg into pigeon, you can take that foot in front of the left hip, regroup, reset. Maybe you'll be adding your arm under your chest again. Maybe you'll be skipping that part. But a few more moments here just to enjoy what you're feeling. Notice your breath. Breathe softness into your body. Stay for another breath or two. And start to move when you're ready to move. Meeting once again in tabletop. Maybe taking a sway of the hips, a shoulder roll even. You would rather be still, be still. And we're going to be staying on our knees, but reaching our arms out long and then off to the left side. So our puppy dog side stretch. Walk the fingertips away from you off to the left side just to take the bend out of your elbows a little bit more. If you want to lay on your pillow under your forehead, under your chest, you can. Or you could start to melt all the way down. See how close you can get to the ground. Maybe you're able to rest your forehead on something. Take all the weight out of the neck. Another full breath on this side. You can use an inhale to lift. And bring your hands all the way back in and under your shoulders. Just reset here in tabletop. Maybe a shoulder roll. Maybe even turn your chin from shoulder to shoulder too. And when you're ready to switch sides, reaching your arms out long again. Off to the right side this time. Walk those fingertips away. Lengthen your arms as much as you can. And melt it down. Maybe onto your pillow, maybe to the ground. Get your forehead as close to something as you can. Stay for another full breath. Let an inhale help you lift. Bringing your hands all the way under the shoulders, back to your tabletop. You can take a moment here, reset. If you wanted to quickly, gently turn your fingers to point towards your knee or towards the outside of your mat. You can add in a wrist stretch. One hand at a time, maybe switch sides or both. And then just releasing that if you did turn your fingertips, We might all just sit back on the heels for a moment if you want to lift off of your hands, if you want some wrist circles, if you wanted to lean back a little and try to lift your knees for a moment, you could do that too. Feel the tops of the feet, the ankles. Maybe you're balancing, able to do those wrist circles here too. But then just bringing everything back down. We're going to be crossing our ankles. If you did get that ankle stretch, though, you might want to shake it out first. We can cross our ankles, though, and then send our legs out in front. So we're going to start with our knees nice and bent. You could always place a pillow under your legs if you wanted to. We're going to try and touch our toes, the balls of the feet, to the ground. You might have your hands behind you or beside you just to keep the spine nice and long. Your knees can be as bent as you want them to be. And as you kind of scooch the feet further and further and further, try to keep the toes touching the ground, a little press of the balls of the feet into the ground. And then maybe you can feel your ankles again here, or for the first time if you didn't feel them before. See how straight you can get your legs, keeping the toes down. And then you could go further as we start to lift the toes or even just relax the ankles. You could go for a full flex of the feet, maybe straight legs, maybe still bending them. And you can continue to point the toes up. You could relax your ankles if you want to fold forwards. You could always use a strap. Or you could start to let the chest go forwards towards the legs. Feel free to keep the knees nice and bent if your low back prefers that. You can take this into as much of a forward fold as feels right for you today. Allow your shoulders to fall from the ears again. Let your eyes close. And just enjoy a few breaths here. Staying for maybe 3 more full breaths. Maybe breathing just a touch slower and deeper. And you are ready to lift up if you are folding. Let another big inhale, maybe even a push into your hands, help you come all the way back up. Lengthen your spine. You did straighten your legs, you can bend them again. Bringing your feet to the ground. Maybe a hug or squeeze of the knees. You might even take a rock side to side. We will be turning or laying down on our backs. Maybe you don't have to go for a full turn around, but you can find your way down. Maybe you'll be hugging your knees in or keeping your feet on the ground again. Just feel the entire length of your spine heavy against the ground. Maybe a gentle sway side to side. And for our twist today, you can always do the twist of your choice. I'm going to send my left leg out long. Keep the right knee towards the chest. And then bringing that leg across your body over to the left side. Maybe it'll rest on a pillow or the ground. Give the hips a chance to turn. The shoulders stay connected, maybe reaching your arms out wide. Find your twist. And if you do happen to have your left leg out long, it can stay that way. Or you can bend that leg, but try to heel toe your foot over to the right side of your mat so that maybe your quad, the top half of your leg, is still straight down the mat. But then the calf, the lower half of the leg, maybe is on that angle. Kind of a 90-degree angle-ish. And if you do have your left leg kind of out to the right side or out long, we're just going to try and tuck it, slide it underneath our right leg so that both of our legs are off to the left side, maybe stacking on one another, adjusting the shoulders again if needed. Take a nice, slow, deep breath here. And then a nice big inhale can help you lift your legs up and out of your twist. You can stay down, knees can hug to the chest, maybe a gentle sway side to side. Maybe doing a similar twist on this next side. So if you want to start with the right leg straight, hugging the left knee in, maybe moving your pillow to the other side, and then let the legs go off to the right. Let the hips rotate. Adjust your shoulders. Reach your arms out. Feel that twist through the spine. You wanted to kind of make that 90-degree angle with your right leg too. You might bend the knee. Try to heel toe the foot over towards the left side. Doesn't matter what it actually looks like as long as it feels good on your back and your hips. If you want to bring your right leg under or towards your left one, if it's not already there, and start to move it, slide it, adjust your shoulders again if needed. Take a nice full deep breath. And let an inhale help you lift your legs out of the twist again. Lay flat on your back. Maybe sway the knees or hug them in towards the chest one more time. You want to come into reclined child's pose. You might open the knees, keep the big toes together. You want a full happy baby. You could lift the feet, try to shine the soles of your feet up towards whatever's above you. Gently press your low back into the ground. You are in full happy baby. You might just let the big toes come back in together, keeping the knees wide for a moment. And then you might just help the knees come all the way back in and maybe take a gentle rock side to side. And when you're feeling ready to set up Shavasana, you can start to make your way into a comfy place. Maybe you'll be bringing your pillow under your knees or just laying flat or in some other comfy way. Finding some stillness. Let your body breathe without any help from you. Allow yourself to relax completely. And slowly start to wiggle your fingers, toes. And maybe you'll even point and flex the feet a few times. Your arms might end up reaching above your head. You might point the toes and take a nice big stretch. Bending your knees. You can roll over to one side. Finding your way up into a comfy seat when you're ready. Maybe bringing your hands together. Awesome practice, you guys. Thanks for joining me today. Have a really lovely weekend. Until next time, namaste.